Hey guys, Lively here. Let's get you started with Tempus Maledictum. Odds are the first thing you'll notice, aside from the fancy new UI of course, is the addition of a new race here, the Deep Elf. This is from a mod called the Time Lost Dwemer, which allows you to play as a new custom race that has powers over time and Dwemer automatons. As a Deep Elf, you'll have new powers revolving around chronomancy, or time manipulation, and you'll be able to unlock the ability to craft and summon dozens of different automaton minions. It's really cool, and I'd strongly encourage you to give it a shot. The second thing you'll notice is this huge blue magic thing here. This is called a Spellforge, and if you play as a mage of any kind, you'll want to get intimately familiar with this thing. Here, you can turn Arcane Resin into spells. You'll find 40 of them here in this chest, which can be used to craft up to 5 novice level spells to help get you started. There are a lot of features here, and they're all detailed in the Spellforge manual, which you'll find next to every placed instance of a Spellforge in the world. But for simplicity's sake, just choose the School of Magic you prefer on the middle activator, then synthesize spell selection on the bottom activator. For now, you can only make novice or apprentice level spells, but as you level up, you'll be able to craft stronger and stronger spells. Select the spells you want from the list, and then back out of the menu. You'll be auto-equipped with a spell to charge the Spellforge. Charge it up, and then back away, because it costs a fair amount of health, hence the potions I've provided to speed things up a little. Rinse and repeat until you feel comfortable with your selections. If you have spells you don't like, you can turn them back into resin in exchange for giving up the power to cast that spell. When it comes to Arcane Resin, this is a relatively rare item, but there's a few ways to find it. You can burn your alchemical ingredients looking for resin, buy it from vendors, or occasionally loot it from specific flora, so keep an eye out when you're picking flowers, because if one of them gives you arcane resin, that's kinda my way of saying you should burn these in the Spellforge. But that's not the only hint for obtaining resin. In Tempus version 7, we also have the addition of the Dragonborn's Bestiary. This is a really cool mod that outlines all the creatures you'll find in your travels, and I decided this could be a cool way to point out when various ingredients can be burned for more resin. So when you find the new ingredient, check your bestiary with the letter K, then scroll down to ingredients and check the various listings. If the description states that they resonate with an arcane energy, these can be burned in the Spellforge to gain more resin. Next up, we should cover temper and recharge services. A long-standing complaint about Skyrim is that you tend to get railroaded into learning smithing and enchanting, because they are by far the best and easiest ways to get the most powerful gear. These skills are still very useful, but now you don't really need them to upgrade your gear. You can visit any blacksmith in the world to upgrade your gear, for a rather steep price of course, or any enchanter in the world to recharge your equipment. Now you can save your soul gems for enchanting new items instead of just for recharging your stuff. And of course, we couldn't talk about Tempus Maledictum without mentioning Legacy of the Dragonborn. We've recently updated to version 6 of the Dragonborn Museum, which opens up a number of new options for you. For starters, there's a new way to skip the beginning fetch quests if you want to, via just giving Arian some stuff to put on display. Yep, bring the man some relics and he'll let you right in. This bypasses the need to either finish 3 fetch quests or to take the Boat to Solitude start, since any other start would normally have required those aforementioned fetch quests, and I think that's pretty awesome. When it comes to add-ons for the museum, we've got plenty, though I will admit I'm pretty picky. My priority for modding is always about fun, so if mods aren't fun, then I just don't add them. I know a lot of people really only ask, well, what is the most displays? And I'll tell you right now, it's probably not this list. But having said that, Tempus does have over 4,000 displays for you to collect, create, and display, and getting them all will be borderline impossible. I know that always sounds like a great goal, and I often set it for myself too, so I get it, but it's very unlikely you'll play for long enough to fill the museum. And that's okay. It's about the journey, not the destination, right? Hell, maybe you'll prove me wrong someday and show me your full museum. I'd love to see it. To help with your pseudo-required hoarding, we have a mod called Handicrafting and Storage. Press your left bracket key to access this mod, which can auto-store or fetch all of your ingredients. Any items in your storage will also be withdrawn whenever you activate a workbench, and then be deposited when you're finished, so this mod largely runs in the background, allowing you to fully unleash your inner loot goblin. Handicrafting does have some other features as well, but to be honest, they're kinda cheaty, so I don't really use them, but come on, it's a single player game. If you want to use the free mount, or the handy bag of holding, or handy teleport, who's gonna stop you? Like I said, Tempus is all about having fun, so get out there and have some. Now I've mentioned a couple of hotkeys, but there are a lot more. Too many to list one by one, really. So at any time, you can press F11 to view the default bindings for both keyboard and mouse, or controller. You can reference this whenever you want, as much as you want, and I'd really encourage you to do so. You can also view any available combo key presses. This is especially useful for controller players since you have far fewer buttons. For example, clicking the left trigger on the controller here shows me the bindings for if I press left trigger plus any of the directional buttons on the D-pad. For the last mod in our little showcase here today, I want to point out a mod called Defeat the Dragon Cult. This is a complementary mod for the Dragon Priest buff Alduin mod. Put simply, when you collect your first Dragon Priest mask, you'll get a new quest that adds new quest markers for each of the Dragon Priests, making this a really top-notch quality of life addition for Tempus. Well, I think that'll do it for today. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel for more content like this, and maybe even sign up for the Patreon if you want to support my work here. Thanks for watching, thank you to all of my Patreon supporters, and I hope you guys have a great day. Happy modding!